Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight on a night where Monday Night Raw decided to disrespect the hell out of everything. Every single champion, every single title belt, every single segment tonight was nothing but a disrespectful slap in the face to its competitors and each and every one of us fans, including you. And we are here to talk about it right here and right now. My name is Nick Nightmare, and you are watching the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's Monday Night Raw review. Let's do it.
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me. This road to Wrestlemania has been a very treacherous one. Another pothole in the road to Wrestlemania is tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw from Boston. And it doesn't matter where this show came from. This script was nothing more than a carbon copy of last week's. Tweaked, only to be made worse. And if you can't believe that's possible, then all you need to do is watch Monday Night Raw. Although I beg you for your health to please, if you missed this show, do not go back and watch it, because there is nothing on it of importance, nothing at all to get you any more excited for WrestleMania than you may or may not already be. All it is actually doing is draining any excitement I have for WrestleMania from me every single Monday night. It's nothing more than a slap in my face. Well, what are you talking about, Nick? How can it be a slap in your face? Well, when you want to give the woman's title the main event of WrestleMania and make that the big announcement, you started the whole show talking about it. Oh, it's making waves in the whole entire world. The women are making history. We're going to open tonight's Raw with the women of that said main event. And this segment, including the 3 matches that the 3 women in the main event are going to be taking place in on this show, are not even going to be given 10 minutes total time. Triple H's monologue, reading some stupid bullshit lawyer thing. He spent more time futzing the fucking paper out of his leather jacket pocket than they gave to the women tonight on Monday Night Raw. Excuse me, I am battling a little bit of a cold, and I'm sorry about that. That may not be the last time that happens, and I apologize in advance and for that one. But let's keep this going, because you know I'm right. The whole Alexa Bliss's moment of bliss bullshit, right? That took so much time. But you gave Ronda Rousey a 1-minute match, followed by a 1-minute match by Charlotte Flair, followed by a 1-minute match with Becky Lynch. You couldn't give these girls more than 15 minutes of wrestling time? It took Ronda Rousey more time to pick up and drop the mic 100 times, deciding whether or not she was done talking to the crowd. It took her more time to do that than it took 3 wrestling matches to go on. And these matches included the Riot Squad, which is a shame. The Riot Squad got absolutely trashed tonight for no reason. What was the purpose of this? Did anybody gain any advantage? No. Was anybody given any sort of a special stipulation towards the WrestleMania match? No. So what was the point in this Beat the Clock challenge? Ronda Rousey's coming out, oh, what even is a Beat the Clock challenge? Are you serious? Do you want people to really think you're an idiot? It's not about hate anymore. You can hate Ronda Rousey all you want, and you want to hate this kayfabe angle she's going with as much as I do, that's fine. But don't be an idiot. Everybody knows what a Beat the Clock challenge is. It's used across all sports. It's a drill in some areas. Don't tell me you don't know what that is. Disrespectful to the main event of WrestleMania right off the bat. A Beat the Clock challenge of 3 matches that didn't last more than 7 minutes in total. But Triple H can talk for 10, 15 minutes and say absolutely nothing. We could waste 15 to 20 minutes of Monday Night Raw time on Colin Dickhead and whatever the hell, Jost, Colin Jerk, who cares? I don't care. Michael Che, whatever the fuck their names is, I don't care. I don't care. I care about as much of them as I care about Braun Strowman, which at this point is fucking zero. And to have them all lumped into one segment that is doing nothing but hyping an Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal that means fucking nothing, that takes precedence. That needs more TV time because it includes 2 NBC clowns. No thank you. No thank you, Monday Night Raw. The Intercontinental Championship is disrespected minute by minute just by being around the waist of the old milk dud, boring, trashly Bobby Lashley. We don't even have to go any further. The same can almost be said for the Universal Championship. The Universal Championship has no respect, since the champion never wants to fucking show up for work. What kind of respect is there even for it? So it's a disrespect to the fans for this belt even still being on Brock Lesnar. The Women's Tag Team Championship. Oh, well, they had a segment for them tonight. Yeah, but it was the same exact fucking segment that we got last week. The Women's Tag Team Championship segment leading us towards WrestleMania's match is nothing more than singles matches that don't even have a conclusion. It's the exact same thing as last week, only swap out Bayley for Sasha Banks, and then you have the same exact outcome. The Samoan Sandwich Factory comes out there because they ran out of food in the back, and they had nothing left to do, and there were no cows to slaughter, so they decided to come out there and beat up Sasha Banks and Bayley once again, and now Tamina and Nia Jax are out there, which is just making my blood pressure boil even more, that I didn't give a shit about Beth Phoenix getting involved at the end. It meant nothing to me. And it does nothing to bring prestige or value to the tag team division for the women. It's just the same old shit. Rinse and repeat. Let's do this again because last week it worked so fucking well. No. They didn't even bother to change it up any further than just going, oh, well, we'll take Bayley and switch it with Sasha and we'll just do the same thing. Because that's exactly what happened. Disrespectful. Disrespect to the tag team champions of Monday Night Raw on the men's side as well. The Revival have done nothing but fucking lose since they've become champions. They have been on the WWE shit list forever. Whether you love them or you hate them, you have got to feel for the Revival because they are not being given anything. They're not being given shit since they've actually been given the championship belts. The Raw Tag Team Championship is dead. It's dead. What good is it on a couple of guys that can't fucking win? You can't win unless the titles are on the line, then you ain't no good as fucking champions. That's not how it's supposed to go. That is not how the Hart Foundation did it. The Hart Foundation will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. We found that out tonight. The one bright spot of the night. Finding out that my first favorite tag team ever is going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. Fantastic. That's great. But what good of all that work that the Hart Foundation did is all up in fucking smoke because look at the tag team division now. An absolute disgrace. Disrespectful to the tag team champions, to the tag team division, and to us. Not that I have a problem with Aleister Black and Ricochet getting wins on Monday Night Raw, but them consistently beating the champions is doing nothing. Nothing for the championship but making you feel like those belts are trash. They don't mean anything. So what good is anything that they're actually doing? In fact, there's not enough for us to disrespect here on Monday Night Raw. Let's bring Samoa Joe over. Hey, Joe, bring that United States Championship over here, bro. It's not bad enough that you lost the last 2 weeks. You're going to lose here tonight on Monday Night Raw to Kurt fucking Angle, man. We're not going to have any cool little schmaz finish. We're not going to have Rey Mysterio maybe come out and get involved. We're not going to have some kind of thing happen where Samoa Joe maybe snaps and gets himself disqualified or does something vicious or vile that a heel would do. We're just going to have him look like a schmuck and get beat clean in the middle of the ring with a stupid fucking back roll. Your United States champion was rolled up last week by Rey Mysterio, flash pinfall. The week before that, he's fucking losing. Now he's losing tonight because Kurt Angle rolled over on his back. The Samoan submission machine didn't have enough wherewithal to just pick up his fucking shoulder. The guy had no leverage on him. Kurt Angle was laying on him like a sack of fucking laundry, and the guy just didn't kick out. You made him look like a fucking fool. If you're gonna have him lose, at least make him lose to an angle slam or a tap out to the fucking angle lock. Something. Not just, oh, I'm gonna roll over my back like a fucking dead turtle and let the fucking gold medalist pin me because this is his farewell tour and I don't stand a fucking chance. Disrespecting the United States Championship for the third week in a row. Nothing but disrespect everywhere you look on Monday Night Raw, and let's get through this card because this show was a fucking chore to get through, as it most normally is, you guys, but this was really a rough one. I found myself nodding off halfway through, if not maybe even just 1/3 of the way through this show, because the Beat the Clock challenge was absolute bullshit. Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair versus the Riot Squad in 3 separate respective matches, and now we're going to have this again in a 6-woman tag next week. So why don't you give me a reason to not give 2 shits about Raw next week already? Doing another repeat segment. We've seen Ronda Rousey single-handedly beat all members of the Riot Squad. Now we've seen them all be defeated. Well, except Ruby Riott kind of went to a no contest with Charlotte Flair. But still, she didn't beat Charlotte Flair. So what good did it do, Ruby Riott? These 3 girls had potential. This is not the way they should be being used. We should have Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan dedicated and just single-mindedly focused, laser-sighted on the Women's Tag Team Championship. That should be the opponent being built up for a WrestleMania match or being involved in whatever multi-woman match they're going to have for the championships. That's the way to go about it. Not this. Not just have them show up to be fucking jobbers every week to the stars. They're worth more than that, and you are consistently bringing down the value of the Riot Squad with bullshit like this. So Ronda Rousey beat Sarah Logan in 1:25 seconds. Flair and Ruby go the distance to 1:25. Nobody can get the win, so it goes on the shoulders of Becky Lynch, who wins with 7 seconds left on the clock. Pretty anticlimactically as well. Nobody, I shouldn't say nobody, but I feel like nobody really gave a shit at the end because there was nothing to really be excited about. It was just like, yay, Becky won, but she didn't win anything. Yet she won bragging rights. What? She was able to win in the fastest time? What good was this? Did no good to anybody. All it did was kill the Riot Squad, in my opinion. A 1-on-2 handicap match for Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley, and it was supposed to be Lio Rush, and immediately, you know, I'm going to come down on this being a repeat segment, because isn't this exactly what happened for Finn Balor to gain his first shot at the Intercontinental Championship? And yes, in fact, it was. But he decided to throw us a swerve and make it even worse, because as much as I would enjoy to see Lio Rush in the ring, I hate him with the old milk stud Bobby Lashley, but I at least enjoy seeing the little guy wrestle. Who I don't enjoy seeing is the Maha-retard, Jinder Mahal.
That's right.
This Maha-reject comes out there because Lio Rush wants to start talking about Rob Gronkowski, and please keep Rob Gronkowski away from the WWE. It's just, you know how I feel about celebrities in my wrestling. There's already way too much of it, and I don't need some former New England Patriot coming around doing some fucking football 3-point hacksaw Jim Duggan stance and beating half the fucking main roster because he's how many times Super Bowl champion. Keep that shit out of here. I don't care. And if that had anything to do with Jinder Mahal's involvement in this segment tonight, then I say it makes it even worse, and I want nothing to do with it. I could care less about any of this. Finn Balor ends up getting the win by pinning Jinder Mahal, thank God, and Finn Balor gets his shot at the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. Good for him. Nothing of importance going on with Elias. This guy just keeps popping up on the streets of New York in the rain, saying absolutely nothing, doing absolutely nothing, but getting fucking robbed. He's got a guitar case full of $100 bills, and it gets fucking robbed because he's sitting there strumming his guitar. So you're making him look even stupider while you're simultaneously trying to build him up for his performance at WrestleMania. I don't get it. I don't like it. It was fucking stupid. We had the Revival versus Aleister Black and Ricochet. We touched upon that already. The Revival goes down once again to a very formidable team. It's not about who they lost to. It's about the fact that they consistently keep losing, and it just is not good news for anybody involved. Neither is Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre comes out there. He gives a way overblown promo. Way too much talk going on. Going the low road, talking about, oh, Roman Reigns, you survived once already. Your family had to watch you survive. And now they have to watch you go through this again and blah, blah, blah. What about your family? What about your daughters? What about your wife? You all knew what was coming after that, right? Roman Reigns is going to come out. Don't be talking about my family none. And then he was going to whip Drew McIntyre's ass from pillar to post, which is exactly what fucking happened, which is going to lead us to this meaningless match at WrestleMania between these two guys. Who's the big dog in the yard? It's going to be my yard. You don't know how to run the yard. This is my yard, dog. Don't be talking about my family, son. I'm done. I'm done with it before it even fucking gets started, so forget it. Forget all about it. And the fact that tonight's main event for Monday Night Raw was focused around that match and not around the Universal Championship or the Intercontinental Championship or the Tag Team Championships for either the men or the women goes to show you the WWE is still very Roman Reigns on the brain minded, and that takes precedence over everything else just by the placement of Drew McIntyre versus Dean Ambrose in a last man standing match for nothing. So that's what we got from Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. I certainly didn't give a shit. Still to come, we had Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle. When we came back from the break, we see Drew McIntyre talking to Dean Ambrose. This is where the match is made. Ambrose is talking about fucking cockroaches and shit. I really didn't care at all. Sasha Banks versus Natalya came up after this one. We talked about this already. We had no winner once again because Tamina Snuka and Nia Jax, the Samoan sandwich machines, came out there and fucked everything up, and the referee called for the bell. The winner by disqualification is Sasha Banks, but what good did it do? After the bell, Beth Phoenix hit the ring, brawls with Nia Jax a little bit. She scoops Nia Jax up on her shoulders, but Tamina Snuka runs up and makes the save. And I'm supposed to be getting excited about all of this? Because I wasn't. And I certainly know you weren't either. This is where we learned about Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart going into the Hall of Fame. Like I told you guys earlier in the show, I didn't understand why it was necessary to show this while Natalya was out in the ring so that she could stand there and cry. This was necessary. Okay. So then we go to the back where Charlie Caruso's talking to Kurt Angle, asking him about his Fellware tour. And then we had Baron Corbin come out there and kill all hope, as of right now, of this matchup with him and Kurt Angle at WrestleMania being changed to anything. It looks like the WWE are stuck in their ways. They've put their heels into the ground and are standing firm. And as of right now, Baron Corbin is still challenging Kurt Angle, and I still can care less. And this whole thing where he's just standing there insulting Kurt Angle to his face, only for Kurt Angle to tell him to screw himself and then walk away, is just so underwhelming and so undeserved for Kurt Angle. He doesn't deserve this. He deserves much, much better than a B angle with Constable fucking Corbin dickhead. And we all know it. A moment of bliss. We're not talking about this. Braun Strowman came and he sat out there, talked some shit with Alexa Bliss. They showed all the shit that he's done over the last couple of weeks, where he almost murdered the one guy and then he destroyed the car, which would then become a playset available by Mattel the very next day. Right? And then we have these two guys from Saturday Night Live on screen, again, given way too much screen time, way too much to talk about. They did come off very heelish. They put on a Yankees cap, cheap heat in a Boston fucking arena, so I don't want to hear how much, oh, look at the crowd reaction. It could have been Jesus Christ himself putting a Jesus cap on. He would have been putting a Yankee cap on. He would have been booed out of the building. Anybody walking in there could have been booed out of the building just by putting that New York Yankees logo on them. And so that did not do anything to really make it such of an ooh-ah moment. Oh, look what the two jerks from New York did. I didn't give a shit, and I know you didn't give a shit. This was put you to sleep material, only to get these two idiots placed into the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And if one of these two assholes from Saturday Night Live win that Memorial Battle Royal, I want it to be forever stricken from future WrestleMania cards. It will be the most unnecessary thing in the history of unnecessary things. I swear to God, I know we've seen Snooki victorious at WrestleMania. We've seen Lawrence Taylor victorious at WrestleMania. We've seen Mickey Rourke in spotlights at WrestleMania and all types of celebrities doing things like that. But in this case, oh, God, please. Andre the Giant will rise from the dead to stop this from happening. Please, don't do this. Not that it means anything as it is, but if you really want to kill that Battle Royal, give it to one of these two fucking clowns. Baron Corbin versus Apollo Crews, an unnecessary matchup to show the world, oh no, look, Baron Corbin's good. And you got guys like Justin LaBar, oh, this was a good match from bell to bell, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit about one match this guy has with Apollo Crews? Who gives a shit? What does that have to do with his entire career at the WWE, which means nothing? It amounted to a bullshit general managership, which is one of the ones that the fans wanted to see eradicated faster than they did when John Laurinaitis was the GM. They wanted this over with faster than Mike Adamle. You want to talk bad levels of GM? Because he was that bad in the ring, they moved him to GM, and now you think that he's really worthy of this match? I've had somebody tell me last week, oh, well, what if Kurt Angle chose Baron Corbin? What if Kurt Angle is sure that this is the best choice opponent for him and that he wants to be safe and he's worried about his health? And I want to say to that person respectfully, if that is in fact the frame of mind of Kurt Angle, then Kurt Angle shouldn't be having this match at all, because he needs to have his head examined. Because there is no way you can't look at a guy like a John Cena and not know that you're going to be safe. This guy can lift fucking garbage trucks with his arms. You know what I mean? I'm exaggerating, but John Cena is one of the most freakishly strong human beings in the world. You don't think he could be gentle with Kurt Angle? You don't think he'd protect Kurt Angle? You don't think it would be the perfect way for the man's career to go out? No, you want to give it to Baron Corbin? Why? Because Kurt Angle says so? Well, then let's get Kurt's head examined, and if he's truly 100%, then he can have his match with Corbin, because it just doesn't make sense. This reeks of bad decision making. And I don't know where it comes from, the top or the bottom. It don't fucking matter where it comes from. I just want it stopped. I just want it to be stopped. It's just unnecessary. If it's going to be Baron Corbin, then the guy should have just hung it up with his last match he has on SmackDown Live with AJ Styles tomorrow night, because it's not going to get any better than Samoa Joe on Raw and then AJ Styles on SmackDown Live. Call it a career and leave WrestleMania out of it. Baron Corbin beats Apollo Crews. I'm supposed to take that as some sort of a fucking, oh yeah, look at that, see? He's going to be great versus Angle. Get out of here. I'm going to need more than that. Seth Rollins comes out telling everybody that he has been long inspired by Hall of Famers like Bret Hart, Ric Flair, and even guys like Triple H, and he is here to make sure that the people and he get the championship from Brock Lesnar. He kept saying, we are going to do it. We are going to beat the beast, Brock Lesnar. Seth Rollins can get you going. And then Paul Heyman comes out. And I say Kurt Angle, because then we'll get to that in a minute. Paul Heyman comes out, and Paul Heyman does what Paul Heyman does. He says all of his Paul Heyman shit, the same thing he says week after week after week. And it didn't matter. And he starts talking about people wanting thoughts and prayers for their dogs and cats and all this whatnot. And all of that was just a setup for Seth Rollins to approach Paul Heyman at the stage. Paul Heyman dropping on the floor like a rubber fat walrus that he is. And Seth Rollins goes, no, I'm not asking for thoughts and prayers. I'm answering them because we are going to burn down Suplex City. And Seth Rollins is promising the world he is going to get that championship back from the Beast and slay him at WrestleMania. And it remains to be seen. Remains to be seen in a very lackluster build-up for this match as well, because the champ just don't fucking come to work. So what am I getting excited about? Seth Rollins talking to Paul Heyman? That's not a way to build a match. Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe was a good enough match for what they allowed us to see. We had to go to commercial break for quite some time, but from what I did get to see, this was a great match. I remember seeing Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe going at it in the 6 sides of a TNA Impact ring long before it was Impact. It was just some of the best stuff you have ever seen. There was an intensity still in Kurt Angle, and the youth and the ability in Samoa Joe that was still yet to be tapped into was something that back then I used to say, wow, can you imagine what these guys could do in the WWE and the WWE ring? And here I am, all these years later, watching it on a Monday Night Raw, and it was good until the end. I was enjoying it until the finish, where I told you guys Samoa Joe just looked like he forgot to kick out, because a fucking infant could have kicked out of the cover that Kurt Angle executed to try to counter the Coquina clutch. Rolling over on his back, Samoa Joe's not going to give up the Coquina clutch to kick out. You don't hear the hand going 1, 2. What an idiotic way to make Samoa Joe lose. And your winner here on his farewell tour continues to be Kurt Angle. Doesn't look well for AJ Styles, as Kurt is just plowing through everybody on his way to Corbin Mania. Ugh, make me fucking vomit. So now we go back to the ring, and out comes Triple H. And normally I'm here telling you guys how the old school does it like nobody else. But tonight Triple H just did not have it. The H did not bring his game to the table tonight. He was stumbling and bumbling all over himself. I don't know if because he was fumbling on the envelope and he couldn't get the law document out, it really took him off his game. Lots of really bad 90s inspired jokes coming out of him tonight, with a little dig for the Spice Girls, talking about, wanna be my lover, if you wanna, and like nobody in the crowd really gave a shit. I'm ashamed of myself for even knowing, but that's the era that I come from, so I know where he was going with that, and it just fell on deaf ears in Boston. Nobody gave a shit. This guy was all over the place, and all it led to was for the fact that the Batista wants Triple H to put his career on the line. This is all the guy needed to come out and say. I got this document from Batista which says he wants me to put my career on the line in order for him to have this match at WrestleMania. I say done. Bow down to the king. You're done. All this, oh, well, Batista wants to quit 100 times before, and Evolution this, and Ric Flair that, and blah, blah, 70-year-old this and that, and the other, and blah, 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 sing a Spice Girls song because I can't get the thing out of my thing because this thing is in the thing, and I don't care. He made me not care. It was just absolutely god-awful. God-awful, which is very, very unexpected from Triple H, but seemingly just phoning it in through this whole entire thing with Batista thus far. And then we had the last man standing match, Drew McIntyre versus Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose got his ass handed to him throughout the entirety of this matchup. Drew McIntyre wins in the end, stands tall. We do not have another appearance from Roman Reigns, which I thought was almost a certainty, since it was no disqualification, last man standing. At the very least, I could be grateful there was no Lacey Evans tonight. If you want to look at positives, they didn't shit on Heavy Machinery. We didn't have to see No Way Naomi or any of the other shit we usually get tortured with. But this Monday Night Raw was still a fat bag of trash. and I hated every minute of it. And they are making me hate WrestleMania more and more by the day. Hopefully that comes to an end very quickly, as we are 13 days away from the biggest show of the year, and I really don't care. Hopefully that changes, and I want to hear what you guys think about tonight's episode down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed today's episode, despite my weird voice because of my weird sickness trying to go away, make sure you smash that like button and become one of the 1,300 plus sledgeheads that already dwell in the Sledgehammer TV family. You guys are more than welcome to come aboard, and I urge you guys to subscribe if you enjoyed today's show. Bigger and better things are coming up in the next couple of weeks, and our road to WrestleMania is going to be a very big one as well, and do not miss anything as we approach the big day, April 7th. We are going to be going to NXT TakeOver. We are going to the New Japan show at Madison Square Garden, and we are going to bring you as much coverage of it as I can. And make sure that you're following us on Instagram, because I will be doing lots of stuff live while I am there as it is happening, and that is at NIC_Nightmare on the Instagram. Follow me on Twitter, as you see the handle down there below, at Nick Nightmare, all one word. Check us out on Facebook at the Facebook fan page. Join up over there. Do whatever you can to make sure that you are not missing a thing, because this is going to be the place to be in 2019, as Sledgehammer TV is on course to take over the YouTube wrestling community, and it starts with awesome, intelligent, and amazing wrestling fans like you, who know and want the truth and love to see the hammer come down the way it should. Thank you guys all once again for being here, and a big thank you to Audible. Audible is our official sponsor, and just as a thank you to you guys for being fans of this show, Audible is offering you 1 free audiobook and a 30-day free trial. Sign up right now, pick one book, and it will be yours for life, even if you cancel that 30-day trial at the end. audibletrial.com/sledgehammertv is the place to go. If you've already redeemed an Audible trial somewhere else, feel free to extend this invitation to your friends and family to bring them into the Audible family, and then encourage them to come over to the Sledgehammer TV family and subscribe, as I'm sure you all have done by now as well. This, my friends, is the team. Thor the Sledgehammer, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. His tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world, Mr. Blue the Snowball. My name is Nick Nightmare, your host with the most, and the most important member of the team, as always, is each and every one of you. That is going to do it, and we are out of here, and we will see you next time for the SmackDown Live review tomorrow night, right here on your new favorite wrestling show, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only on Sledgehammer TV, right here on YouTube.com. Boom.